Captain Jack Renshaw had always believed in preparation. His ship, the Horizon Spark, was equipped with the best tools, strongest engines, and even a smart AI that reminded him when to eat. But no amount of training could prepare him for a rogue asteroid storm in the middle of deep space. It happened in seconds. One moment he was scanning a nearby gas giant, and the next, alarm screamed across the ship. Warning. Hull breach detected. Emergency landing required. Jack's fingers flew across the controls, trying to steer the damaged ship toward the closest planet. The engines sputtered. Lights flickered. The AI repeated warnings in a calm voice, but Jack was not calm. He had only one goal now: survive. Through the thick clouds of space debris, he spotted a green-blue planet glowing faintly. It was uncharted, unnamed, and probably dangerous, but it was better than dying alone in space. The ship tore through the planet's atmosphere like a falling star. Trees and glowing plants rushed up to meet him. Then everything went black. Jack woke up to silence, lying on soft ground. Above him, a deep purple sky shimmered with strange stars. The trees around him glowed in soft blue and green shades like giant lanterns. His suit was torn. His leg was bruised. The air smelled sweet, but his helmet beeped. Warning. Oxygen low. Hydration low. System damage 82%. He coughed, tried to stand, and nearly fell. Pain shot up his side. The ship had crashed. Hard. A few broken panels and half-buried equipment pieces nearby confirmed it. Jack stumbled forward, searching for anything. Water, food, shelter. The plants were unfamiliar. The animals were distant shadows, watching him with glowing eyes. He knew nothing about this world, and he knew no one would find him soon. His body grew weaker by the hour. The sun, or whatever passed for the sun, began to set. Night came fast and cold. That's when he saw her. At first he thought it was a hallucination. A tall, glowing figure walked silently among the trees. Her skin shimmered like silver light. Her eyes were large and violet, filled with calm. She wore something like a gown made from living leaves. She stepped closer and Jack tried to raise a hand but collapsed instead. She didn't speak. She knelt beside him, placed a warm hand on his forehead, and closed her eyes. A soft hum filled the air, like music without sound. Then, everything faded again. Jack woke again, this time inside a dome made of living vines and glowing crystals. The walls pulsed gently, like they were breathing. He was lying on a soft bed of moss. The pain in his leg was gone. He felt warmer, calmer. Then she appeared again, the same glowing woman. "You saved me," he whispered. She tilted her head, and her voice finally came. It was musical, gentle, but her words were not in English. Jack's translator chip kicked in. After a few seconds, her voice became clear. "You are far from your stars," she said. "You are broken." He nodded. "Yes, very broken. I am Serafa, warden of this forest. You are the first of your kind here." "I'm Jack," he said. "Captain Jack Renshaw, from Earth." Serafa looked thoughtful. "Your form is weak. You cannot survive here long without help." Jack tried to sit up. "Then I'll die trying." But she raised a hand, stopping him. "No," she said. "You will live." She brought a small container made of crystal. Inside was a thick, glowing liquid. She offered it to him. "What is it?" he asked. "A gift, a life substance, made by my body, shared only in deep need." Jack hesitated, but his body was shaking. He couldn't afford pride. He drank. It was warm, sweet, and powerful. As it entered his body, he felt a rush of energy. His headache faded. His vision sharpened. He sat up, surprised. Serafa smiled softly. "Your kind is strange, but your will is strong." That night, Jack sat inside the vine shelter watching the stars through the dome. His body still ached, but he could breathe. He could think again. He looked at Scifi, who sat quietly near a small fire made of glowing stones. "Why did you help me?" he asked. She didn't answer at first. Then she said, "Because no life should end in silence." And in that moment, Jack knew this planet was more than just his crash site. It was the beginning of something he didn't understand yet, but he would live to find out. Captain Jack Renshaw woke up to the sound of soft humming. It was not a machine. It was natural, almost like a song made of light. He turned his head slowly. The pain was less now. His body felt warmer, stronger, though he knew he was still weak inside. Scifi was there again, sitting cross-legged on a smooth stone near the glowing wall of their shelter. Her hands moved gently in the air, shaping lines of light. The vines around her responded, twisting into patterns that looked like art, or maybe language. Jack sat up and cleared his throat. "Morning. Or, whatever time it is." Scifi turned to him, her violet eyes kind and calm. "You slept through the dark phase. Your wounds are healing." Jack looked down at his leg. A greenish-blue paste covered it, tied with soft vine straps. "You did this?" "Yes," she said simply. "And the gift I gave you yesterday, it has begun to bond with your body." Jack raised an eyebrow. "That glowing drink? What is it?" Scifi placed her hand over her chest. "It is part of me, created by my own body. We call it Virayan. It carries life energy. Only a few of my kind can produce it. Even fewer can share it safely with other species." Jack blinked. "So you're telling me you saved me using a rare ability your people have, and you risked your own energy to do it?" She nodded once. "Why?" Scifi looked away for a moment as if choosing her words carefully. "Because I saw something unusual in you. Your kind is not known to us, but your spirit is bright, like a fire that refuses to die. I could not let it go dark." Jack was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. "Well, thank you, Scifi. I owe you my life." Over the next few days, Jack began to recover. Scifi continued to care for him, offering more of the glowing drink, in small amounts. It didn't just heal him, it seemed to improve his senses. He could hear clearer, see farther. Even his thoughts felt sharper. In return, Jack told her stories about Earth, space travel, and the many planets he had seen. Scifi listened with deep interest, sometimes surprised, sometimes amused. "Your people sound bold," she said one evening as they sat near the glowing firestones. Jack chuckled. "Bold or foolish. We like to explore, even if we're not ready. We've made mistakes, but we keep going." "Curious," Scifi said. "Most species stop when they are afraid." Jack shrugged. "Maybe we're just too stubborn." Scifi smiled gently. "Or maybe you are meant to learn faster than others." One day Jack felt strong enough to walk outside the shelter. The forest was glowing in soft blues and greens, with tall trees shaped like upside-down umbrellas. Strange floating lights danced between branches. The air smelled fresh with hints of fruit and rain. As Jack walked, Scifi walked beside him, her long steps graceful and silent. They didn't speak for a while. The peace of the place didn't need words, but Jack had a question on his mind. "Scifi," he said, "do your people live here alone?" She nodded slowly. "Yes. We are called the Valari. We live in balance with this world. We do not build machines. We do not travel the stars. Why not? We believe true wisdom is found in stillness, in listening, in growing slowly." Jack nodded, trying to understand. "And what do the Valari think about humans?" Scifi paused. "We were told that humans are loud, emotional, quick to act. Many Valari believe your kind is dangerous." Jack laughed softly. "Well, they're not wrong. But you are different," Scifi said, looking at him. "You are loud, yes, but you are also thoughtful. You are careful even when you suffer. That is rare." Jack felt a strange warmth in his chest, Not just from her, Wojak nodded. And now you're guarding me. She looked at him. You are part of this place now, whether you leave or not. Something in you has changed. Jack looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, Earth was spinning. Maybe someone was looking for him, maybe not. But right now, under the glowing sky of Aurelia 9, with a strange and powerful being beside him, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Captain Jack Renshaw had been on Aurelia 9 for 12 days. Each day brought a new surprise. His body had healed faster than he thought possible, thanks to the glowing drink Scifi gave him. It wasn't just healing, it was changing him. His strength was increasing, his energy returned, even his memory felt sharper. He could remember old ship codes, even songs from his childhood, but more than his body, his mind was changing. He had come to this planet as a stranger, broken and weak. Now he felt connected to the land, the glowing trees, and especially to Scifi. She was not just kind, she was wise. She understood life in a deeper way than any human Jack had ever met. Her calm voice, her gentle eyes, her deep care for everything around her. It gave Jack something he had long forgotten. Peace. One morning, Jack sat by the edge of a floating pool, its water glowing softly under the soft light of Aurelia's twin suns. He was repairing a small scanning device from his crashed ship. The screen was cracked, wires burned, but Jack was good with machines. Scifi watched from a distance, curious. You always fix things, she said. Jack smiled without looking up. I like solving problems. Machines make sense. They break, and you repair them. Simple. Your tools are strange to me, she said, walking closer. Our people use light and life, not metal and wires. That's why I want to learn, Jack replied. But maybe I can teach you something too. He turned the device on. It blinked once, then showed a map, fuzzy but clear enough to show nearby life signals. There, Jack said, pointing. Something's moving east of here. Scifi frowned. That is near the stone field. My people do not go there. Why not? It is a silent place. Energy does not flow well there. He paused. Scifi, I think this is a probe. Together, they uncovered a round device about the size of a small pod. It was Terran tech, but older than Jack's ship. He brushed dust from a faded logo. Earth Exploration Unit, Mark 7, he read aloud. This was sent before I was even born. Scifi touched the device. It came here long ago. We watched it fall. Our elders feared it would bring trouble. Jack looked at her. Why didn't you make contact? We believed it better to remain hidden, but some of us disagreed. I was one of them. Jack studied her face. So, you've been waiting for another chance. She nodded. And then you fell from the sky. They brought the probe back to the shelter. Jack worked through the night, connecting it to power from a small energy cell. Sparks flew, then the device blinked to life. A shaky voice played from the speaker. This is Exploration Unit 7, Planet Class, M, Environment Stable. No signs of intelligent life detected, Jack sighed. It never found the Volari. Scifi smiled faintly. We made sure of that. But now we've met, and maybe it's time your people and mine stop hiding from each other. Scifi looked serious. Many Volari do not trust outsiders. They fear what humans may bring. Jack stood. I'm not perfect, Scifi, but I'm not here to take or harm. I came by accident. You saved me. And now, I want to prove we can be allies. She touched his arm gently. Then we must show them together. The next day, Scifi led Jack deeper into the forest to the heart of her people's land, a place called Lumina Grove. It was a city, but not like any city Jack had seen. No buildings, just great trees shaped into towers. Vines moved like living bridges. Lights floated through the air like silent watchers. Volari citizens stood quietly as Jack approached. Their eyes, large and glowing, followed every move he made. Whispers filled the air. A tall figure stepped forward. His skin was darker silver, his eyes deep blue. He wore a robe made of light and leaves. "This is the outsider?" he asked Scifi. "Yes, Elder Mirian," she said calmly. "He is not a danger. He is a guest." Mirian looked at Jack. "You carry strange energy, human. Not only from your world, but from ours." Jack met his gaze. "I didn't come here to take anything. I only want to learn, to survive, and maybe to build something new." The elder was silent. Then he nodded once. "Let him speak to the circle." Scifi turned to Jack. "They are listening now. Be honest. Be strong." Jack took a deep breath and stepped forward. He was not just a crash survivor anymore. He was Earth's first voice on Aurelia 9. The circle of Valari elders gathered in the heart of Lumina Grove, beneath the great tree known as the Elder Tree. Its glowing leaves stretched high, casting soft light on the faces of those assembled. The elders were the keepers of knowledge, tradition, and the secrets of Aurelia 9. They spoke little, but their presence was powerful. Jack Renshaw stood beside Scifi, his heart pounding. He was the first human to enter this sacred space. Around him, the Valari watched carefully. Their eyes glowed softly, filled with questions and caution. Elder Mirian spoke first. "Jack of Earth, you carry a strange energy. Your body bears marks of our virelin, yet you are not one of us." Jack nodded. "I know. Scifi shared her gift with me. It saved my life." Another elder, a woman with silver-blue skin, stepped forward. "It is forbidden to share the virelin with outsiders. It weakens the giver and risks contamination." Scifi's voice was calm but firm. "Jack is not just any outsider. He is a friend. The virelin has bonded with him. It has made him stronger, wiser. This is new," the elders whispered among themselves. Jack listened closely, sensing the tension. The Valari valued balance, tradition, and safety. Change was rare and often feared. Jack spoke, choosing his words carefully. "I don't want to break your laws or traditions. I want to learn, to understand, and maybe to help." The elders were silent again. After the meeting, Scifi led Jack away from the crowd. "They are afraid," she said softly, "of change, of the unknown." Jack looked at her. "I understand. But this virelin, it's more than healing. It's like a bridge between us." She smiled. "Yes, but it comes with risk. When shared, it drains the giver. If overused, it could harm Scifi." Jack's eyes widened. "I don't want you to get hurt because of me." Scifi touched his arm gently. "That is why we must be careful. There is a reason our science is called forbidden when used with others." Jack nodded. "Tell me more." That night, under the glowing stars, Scifi showed Jack the hidden chambers beneath the elder tree. The walls pulsed with life energy, crystals glowing softly. This was the Valari laboratory, where nature and science met. "This is where we create virelin," Scifi explained. "Our bodies produce it naturally, but it requires balance. We study it here, in silence." Jack looked around in awe. Strange plants grew in crystal beds, their roots glowing. Vines hummed softly, connecting to machines that looked alive. Scifi picked up a small vial filled with the glowing liquid. "We call this the life essence. It heals wounds, strengthens bodies, even enhances minds. But it is sacred." Jack studied the vial. "And it can be shared safely?" "Yes, but only with great care," Scifi said. "I gave you just a small amount, enough to heal and bond. More than that could harm you, or me." "Exactly." Days passed, and Jack's strength grew. He and Scifi spent hours in the lab, studying the virelin together. Jack shared his knowledge of technology and biology. Scifi showed him how life energy could be focused and shaped. One afternoon, Jack held a small glowing orb of virelin energy in his hands. It pulsed gently. Do you think we could combine your science with mine? Jack asked. Serapha's eyes sparkled. It is a dangerous thought, but it might be possible. Jack smiled. Imagine what we could do. Heal not just one person, but many. Help your people explore beyond this world, even protect this planet from dangers. Serapha looked thoughtful. Your vision is bold, but it requires unity. Between species, between old and new. Jack nodded. Then we start by building trust. That evening, Jack and Serapha stood on a hill overlooking the glowing forest. The twin suns had set and the nightlights began to rise. I'm grateful for your gift, Jack said quietly. You didn't have to save me. You risked everything. Serapha smiled. Life is precious, Jack, and sometimes the greatest gift is the chance to live again. Jack looked up at the stars. I don't know what's next, but I know this. Whatever happens, I'm ready to face it. With you. Serapha reached out, taking his hand gently. And I with you. In the silence, the two looked out at the bright horizon, hope shining between two worlds ready to change forever. The days on Aurelia 9 had grown warmer as Jack's strength returned. He was learning more about the Volari, their deep connection, to the forest, their ways of life and their quiet wisdom. But beneath the peaceful surface of the glowing jungle, something old and dangerous was stirring. One morning, as Jack and Serapha walked through a dense part of the forest, the ground suddenly trembled beneath their feet. The glowing plants around them shivered, and a low rumble echoed through the trees. Jack looked at Serapha, alarm in his eyes. What was that? Serapha's violet eyes narrowed. It is the great root, the ancient creature that sleeps beneath this forest. It has not awoken for centuries. Jack's heart raced. A sleeping creature? What kind? Serapha's voice was calm, but serious. It is a guardian and a threat. It protects the land, but if disturbed, it can bring great destruction. Jack frowned. What could have disturbed it? Serapha touched her chest and whispered, Your arrival. The energy of the Virilan in you may have reached deep below. Jack stared at the ground. I didn't mean to cause harm. Serapha shook her head gently. No harm intended, but nature is sensitive here. That evening the elders gathered, urgently in Lumina Grove. Jack and Serapha stood before them as Elder Mirian spoke. The great root is stirring, Mirian said gravely. If it breaks free from its seal, the forest and all life here will be at risk. Jack looked around. Is there a way to stop it? Serapha nodded. There is a place beneath the stone field where the seal lies, but the path is dangerous. Mirian's eyes met Jack's. You carry the energy that awoke it. You must help contain it. Jack swallowed hard. I will do whatever it takes. Suddenly, a distant roar echoed through the tunnel. Jack gripped Serapha's hand. We're close. They reached a wide cavern filled with twisting roots glowing brightly. In the center lay the seal, a massive crystal embedded in the earth shining with golden light. But the crystal was cracked. The great root stirred beneath it. Massive roots began to shake and break free. Jack and Serapha moved quickly. Serapha placed her hands on the crystal, closing her eyes. She began to hum softly, sending waves of light through the roots. Jack joined her, focusing the energy he felt inside, the Virilan's power flowing through his veins. Together, they created a shield of light around the seal. But the roots kept pushing, breaking through the edges. The cavern shook violently. Jack stepped forward. Serapha, I need more of your gift. I can feel it fading. Serapha hesitated, but then nodded. She placed her hands on his chest, sharing more Virelin. Jack felt a surge of warmth and strength, his body glowing softly. With renewed power, Jack extended his hands toward the roots. Light flowed from him, like waves, binding the roots back into place. The shaking slowed. The cracks in the crystal began to heal. Finally, the cavern fell silent. Exhausted, Jack and Serapha leaned against the glowing roots. Jack looked at her. We did it. Scifi smiled weakly. Together, Jack nodded. But this is only the beginning. There may be more dangers we don't know. Scifi's eyes met his. Then we faced them together. Back in Lumina Grove, the elders greeted their return with quiet relief. Elder Mirian placed a hand on Jack's shoulder. You have proven your strength and heart, he said. The Filari will remember this day. Jack smiled. Thank you. I only did what anyone would. Protect life. Scifi stood beside him. And you showed us that our gifts can bring new hope, even between different worlds. As the glowing forest settled into night, Jack looked up at the stars. His journey had changed him. He was no longer just a survivor. He was a guardian of this strange, beautiful world, and he was ready for whatever came next. The battle beneath Aurelia IX's glowing forest had been fierce, but it was not over. The great root had retreated for now, but its power was not broken. Jack and Scifi knew they had little time before the creature would try again to escape its prison. Scifi's gift, the Virelin, was more than just healing now. It had become a source of strength for both of them, a bond that connected human, and Vilari in a way few could understand. Jack sat in the heart of Lumina Grove, the glowing vines wrapped gently around his arm. The Virelin pulsed softly, filling him with energy and warmth. His body felt stronger, but he knew this power came with limits. Scifi stood nearby, her eyes filled with concern. Jack, your body is still adapting. If you push too hard, the bond may break. Jack smiled weakly. I have to try. The great root will not wait. Scifi nodded. Then we prepare. Together, they began to design a plan. The Vilari had never fought in battle. Their strength was in harmony with the forest, not in weapons or war. But Jack had seen many battles in space. He knew they needed more than light and healing. They needed strategy. In the glowing laboratory beneath the elder tree, Jack and Scifi worked side by side. Scifi created more Virelin, careful to conserve her strength. Jack used ancient Vilari, technology combined with his own knowledge to build a suit, a protective exoskeleton that would enhance his speed and power. It looks like armor, Scifi said, watching him adjust the glowing plates. Jack grinned. It's more than armor. It will let me move faster, hit harder, and last longer. Scifi placed a hand on his shoulder. And I will be with you. My gift will flow through the suit, giving you strength and healing. Jack nodded. Together, we are stronger. When the day came, Jack put on the exosuit. It fit perfectly, glowing softly with Virelin energy. Scifi's eyes shone with hope and worry, but Jack was faster. His suit allowed him to leap and dodge. When he struck, his fists glowed with Virelin energy, burning away the dark roots that threatened the trees. Scifi stood behind him, her hands weaving the life energy into shields of light that protected them both. The fight went on for hours. Jack's strength came from Scifi's gift, but it was more than that. His human spirit, the stubbornness to never give up, kept him going. Finally, with a mighty roar, Jack delivered a powerful strike to the core of the great root. The creature shuddered, its massive limbs folding back into the earth. The forest grew still. Exhausted, Jack collapsed to the ground. Scifi rushed to him, placing her hands on his chest, pouring healing energy into him. You did it, she whispered. Jack smiled weakly. We did it, together. After the battle, the Vilari gathered around them, eyes filled with new respect. Elder Mirian stepped forward. Jack, you have shown us the strength of your people and the power of unity. The Vilari welcome this new path. Scifi smiled. Your courage and our gift have saved Aurelia IX. Jack looked around at the glowing forest, the trees swaying gently in the soft breeze. This is just the beginning, he said. There's a whole galaxy out there. Maybe one day your people and mine will explore it together. That night, under the shimmering stars, Jack and Scifi stood side by side. We made a difference today, Jack said softly. Scifi nodded. And we will continue to do so. For life. For hope. Jack took her hand gently. No matter where we go, this bond will remain. Scifi smiled. A bond of light and life. Together they looked up at the endless sky, ready for whatever the future would bring. The days after the battle felt like a new dawn for Aurelia 9. The glowing forest breathed easier, the soft lights shining brighter than before. The Villari, people moved with renewed hope, whispering about the changes Jack Renshaw had brought to their world. Jack himself was still healing. The bond between him and Scifi had grown stronger, deeper. Their connection was no longer just physical, it was a meeting of minds and hearts, a symbol of what two different worlds could achieve together. One evening, Jack sat with Scifi, beneath the elder tree, watching the stars dance in the violet sky. He felt a quiet peace, a feeling he had not known since before the crash. Scifi, he began, I never thought I would find this connection, not just to a place, but to a person, to your people. Scifi smiled softly. And I never thought I would meet a human who could teach me so much about courage and hope. Jack reached out, taking her hand gently. Our worlds are different, but maybe that difference is what makes us strong. Scifi nodded. Yes, together we have changed Aurelia 9, but there is still much to do. The Villari elders called a gathering in the heart of Lumina Grove. Jack and Scifi stood before the circle once again. The elders' faces held expressions of cautious optimism. Elder Miriam spoke first. Jack Renshaw, you carry not only the strength of your people but the spirit of cooperation and unity. The Villari have watched you grow, healed by our gift and strengthened by your will. He paused, then continued. The bond between you and Scifi is more than just survival. It is a new path for our kind, one of partnership. Jack bowed his head respectfully. I am honored. I represent humanity, a people eager to learn, to grow, and to build bridges. Another elder stepped forward. We offer you a place here, not just as a guest but as an ambassador, to share knowledge and friendship between our worlds. Jack looked at Scifi, then back at the elders. I accept, and I promise to carry this responsibility with honor. Days later, the Villari and Jack worked side by side. Using a mix of Terran technology and Villari life energy, they began building communication devices, small ships, and healing centers. The Villari learned about machines, while Jack learned more about their unique biology and their deep respect for the living world. Scifi and Jack became symbols of hope, a living proof that different species could come together to create something greater. One night, as they rested by the glowing lake, Jack shared a memory. On Earth we have a saying, unity and diversity. It means that strength comes from different people working together. Scifi smiled, her eyes reflecting the stars. It fits us well. Jack's hand found hers. No matter where we go, from the deepest forests to the farthest stars, we carry this truth with us. Scifi leaned her head on his shoulder. A bond of light, life, and hope. Months passed, and Jack received a message from Earth. A rescue team had found his last transmission and was on their way, but Jack hesitated. He had a choice. Return to the life he knew or stay with the Villari and help build this new future. They're curious about Earth's technology and culture. The two worlds began to connect, exchanging ideas, stories, and dreams. In the end, Jack chose to stay on Aurelia 9 as the official ambassador of Earth. He and Scifi worked tirelessly, guiding the beginnings of a galactic friendship. Their story was told across many planets. A tale of survival, trust, and the power of unlikely bonds. Under the endless stars, Jack and Scifi stood once more beneath the elder tree. We faced danger and fear, Jack said. Scifi smiled. But we found hope and unity. Jack took her hand. Together we are stronger. Scifi nodded. Together we are one. The glowing forest hummed softly as the two looked out toward the future, a future where different worlds could live, learn, and grow as one. The story of Jack and Scifi was not just about survival. It was about the courage to trust, the strength to change, and the power of life shared. And so, on Aurelia 9, under the watchful stars, two species began, a new journey, one of friendship, discovery, and endless possibility.